Alrighty. Top creators also broadcast on X. This is good too. Oh, I can broadcast on X. Awesome. Okay. We went through a whole series shebang about friends that hate us, right? Our stories, my story, your story, all everybody's story around the world. And there was a pattern besides the fact that the women had long faces. There was a pattern of women saying after some time of being friends with the woman, it was just this weird energy. She just did something weird. And she did this weird. That word kept coming up. And again, I told you, as a creative, as an artist, the word weird is not a word that we identify with the same thing as everybody else. Actually, if you look into weird and what it means to be unique, to be, all of these things. But it was Oxford that said words are defined by how we use them. So, despite what a dictionary can say, how we use the word is how the word becomes defined. And this is why we now have the Urban Dictionary. So, weird is a thing that's like another way of saying something is off about this person. Something is weird. Something is strange. Like it's become equivalent to that word. Okay. The reason the energy feels weird with this person who you are calling a bestie and all this stuff, and most of the time they go harder about being the bestie than anything. The weird energy is that um psychologically, I'm an 80s baby, so I watched a lot of horror films, right? So psychologically, the mind knows. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just saying this is my observation analysis, right? When someone doesn't like you, there's a perspective of when someone doesn't like you, right? Let me put it that way. And so you have the perspective what people can see when somebody doesn't like somebody. The obvious one will be they don't talk to you, they don't want to deal with you, they avoid you, they don't even look at you. Somebody don't like you, right? That's like the point blank thing. But to have somebody around you and call you bestie, be nice to you, and all these different kind of things, and up under you, and they don't like you, that is where it gets weird. Because we see this type of behavior in scary movies with serial killers, rapists, and worse, people who chop people up and shit, right? We see this stalking behavior, right? We see this watching behavior. We see this monitoring behavior. We see this popping up on time behavior. And so that begins to happen with having this particular friend. And that's where it gets weird. And those of us who are intuitive, something in us just like gets away from the person. Like we just be like, because we know that if we retaliate, it gives them more reason to really do what it is they want to do to us. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like the time when Grey's Anatomy, when Christina was on the elevator. Now, Christina is known as being very dismissive, right? Or a smart ass. And so the guy that we knew was walking around this hospital shooting everybody, right? Was on this elevator with Christina. And so she told him how to get to McDreamy, which is Dr. Derek Shepard, aka McDreamy. And the intensity of that scene was everything. Now, he went and did what she said. Now, knowing that he was the shooter, and if he would have walked with Christina, talked to Christina, talked about his wife, talked nice, knowing that he was killing doctors and knew she was a doctor and still was up there up under her and talking to her and all this kind of stuff, we would have been on the edge of our seats. Okay? Because we know he's the shooter. That's literally what our experience is with these fake friends or fake besties, right? Something is just odd and weird about someone who puts so much time into doing that. But let me tell you what they will tell you, because see, this is what I have learned about life. People do tell you who they are more than you realize that they tell you who they are. Just by what you feel is enough to know who they are. Okay? Therefore, these people will say, well, you know, people like that, they do it to everybody. They tell you that they do it to everybody. Like, you're not special. They do this to everybody. And let me tell you, they do it to everybody. And the thing is, the smart ones get away from them. Don't fight them. Don't argue with them. Don't give them nothing. Just go away. Great, what they call gray rock them, right? Even though it won't be easy all the time, you have to just get away from them. Also, another thing that's key is that it's weird because you have to forgive yourself in these experiences, because I know you probably like, well, why did I allow this and this and that? We all go through that. We all go through that experience. You know, some people, we trust them. That's just what it is. You trusted them. You thought it was okay. You thought their behavior was normal until you grow up, you mature, and you realize that this is not normal behavior. This is not okay behavior, right? So that happens. Also, I think that what I have come to see, they are always doing something that you just need to pay attention around you. For example, the movie Chloe, great movie. I encourage everyone to go see it. It's on Amazon Prime. She met the woman at yoga, and while she was about to swipe her card, she asked her to go do something. I am a person, I have a problem with that. Do not ask me to go do something. I'm gonna call you out on it. Why are you trying to do what you about to rob this bank or something? Like, I'm the kind of person, I will make a dark joke like that, or what happened? That's serial killer shit. I'll be like, that's serial killer shit. You know what I'm saying? That's, I will call it out. You don't just ask me to go somewhere. I don't like that shit. That's one of my pet peeves. And so she went to go do something, and she swiped the card and it wasn't her. Okay. Now, this is a black woman and this is a white woman, right? This whole story. And I can't remember her name. She had a nice, pretty name too. Ely, something, some kind of name that they be having. You know how the UK black women be having those real cute, the real pretty names. And so there's a part where the woman Chloe runs into a black guy named Jason. And so Jason was like, Becky, right? Because they had a one night stand together. And she looked like Sasha. And so he confronted her, and then she got the black woman got in the car with her and was like, "Girl, he's fine. Girl, you need to get with him." Blah 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 blah. Blah. And girl, I knew she was acting because I could tell she didn't even believe that. But yeah, you need to get with him, girl. He's fine, girl. He's fine. Da, da, da. You need to get with him. And so Chloe was like, "Nah, this, that, and the third, right?" Then, as the storyline went on, right, the same woman was at an event, right? Because I ain't get to the further details, but the same woman was at the event. No, 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 no. I'm gonna go for before that. She invited her around her friends. And then one of the friends went off really, really bad. Like bad. And he was like, who the hell is this person? Right? They fussed about the friend that died. Okay. By the way, Chloe was only, we're gonna get to that in a minute, okay? We get to that in a minute. Their friend had died, and the friend that died, she had, unalived herself, and then from her unaliving herself, then what happened is this particular friend who was angry about it started spewing stuff, started yelling at the table, and was like, "You look familiar. And who is she? Why did you even invite her?" See, it's things like this that happen to you with these, what we call now fake friends, because you have to pay attention to the people on the outside looking in of what they see. This is the same thing. When my ex-girl saw my current friend, air quote friend at the time, the first thing she said is, "She's ugly." She said, "She's ugly. And y'all don't look like, that don't look like somebody that would be your friend." That's exactly what she said. I should have paid attention to that. And trust me, I did, but I should have really paid attention. So going back to Chloe, this is what that guy did. He flipped out. He was like, "You look familiar. You look familiar." And then he was like, "What is she doing here? This, that, and the third." It was such a scene that she ended up leaving. Moving forward in the story, right? All of these things was in, I'm gonna call it Ely, the black woman Ely's face. It was in Ely's face, right? All in her face, right? Then the final draw. She's sitting down. Her friend, the woman who unalived herself's husband, has this event for the woman who unalived herself because that was their childhood friend. It was a whole museum for her. It was beautiful. They went to start talking, and they were like, "Who was that girl that was stalking her?" Talking about the woman who unalived, the friend who unalived herself, right? Um, who was that girl that was stalking her? And she was the first one to bring it up. And then she was like, wasn't her name Becky something? And see, if she was paying attention, she would have put that together in the beginning when the woman named Sasha met her at the yoga class, and then a guy called her Becky. See how it was all in her face from the beginning? And so that went on, and when they went to look for her, they couldn't remember her last, they knew her name, but they went to look for her, and so she walked off. She walked off. And the black guy Jason was there, and he was just sipping whatever he was drinking, and he didn't say nothing, right? He didn't say nothing. So then when she went down to get her bag and stuff that she was hiding with her real name and stuff on it, or some gifts or something she was doing sneaky again, Ely popped up on her ass and was like, just called her out like, "Girl, really? Over something that happened when you was 13 years old, you pretend to be a friend of mine to come around me?" Let me also tell you what else she did. When Ely talked to her casually, remember I said casual conversation or casualties. When Ely talked to her casually, what happened is she began to see, The girl Chloe, when she told her about a job opportunity with somebody, Chloe emailed that person telling them that Ely worked for her and that she don't think she should be hired. And then Ely broke down about not getting the job. Do you see how it works? Now, that's a bit extreme, but it could happen that way. But energetically, it happens like that with this fake friend. That's how we're going to turn it. That's how it happens. Even if they don't go and say you ain't gonna get the job, energetically you won't get the job because of that person's extreme hate, disdain, and hoping for the worst for you. Okay? I'm gonna tell you something, and you're not gonna like it, but I'm going to tell you this. People who don't like you the most will always try to feed you. People who do not like you will always try to feed you. Now, if you want to go into some dark psychology shit and eat the food and channel their energy and be on point with them because, they don't realize that that can happen. If you want to go that dark, then that's on you. But please note that people who don't like you the most want to feed you. Okay? People who don't like you the most always want to do something for you. Okay? It's a strange, strange thing, I know. It's a strange, strange thing, right? So, yikes, that's loud, isn't it? Are they blowing the leaves off my porch? Okay. That is loud. I don't even see the person. Excuse me. So, this is where that weird energy stuff comes in, right? Now, another thing that is very important to note, I want you to know. You got to, number one, forgive yourself. Okay. I want to tell you why you need to forgive yourself and not beat yourself down for the mistake you made with this fake friend. You are a person who, if you don't like somebody, you leave, you don't mess with them, right? You leave, you go the other way. You're the kind of person that somebody say something wrong, do something you don't like, move kind of funny, you like, I'm out of here. I'm not dealing with this, right? That's what you do. You're the kind of person that in the co-worker world, you handle people how you handle them, but you will also avoid people. You will walk around people. You don't deal with it. You don't deal with that. You're the kind of person that if somebody is walking towards you and they got some negative ass energy, you will walk all the way out the way until they walk past and come all the way back to where you came from. And if they coming towards you, you will walk all the way around just to get the hell away from their energy, right? That's what you would do. So you casually live your life. And if somebody don't like you, fine. They don't like me. Life will go on. I will not lose sleep if you don't like me, right? That's how you are. Okay? Understand that's how you are. That's the perspective lens of your life, which to me makes sense because that's how we are, right? So, what happens? When somebody, you're having a casual conversation, you're talking to people and you're just living your day-to-day life and you think you're just talking about the different colors of apples, right? And you think that you're just talking about your favorite TV show and the plot twist, right? Then you think that this is okay. But what happens is with people like this, the fake friend, this is a place of their manipulative playground that you have to understand. This is a place of hurting everybody around them the way that they are hurting. Anybody who had a fake friend can tell you that that person had a fucked up life, okay? Fucked up life. And you can hear when they go into that place that they have not left that place. And the thing about who you are is you may have shit way more fucked up than they experienced, but you persevered through that shit. You may have shit. See, and another thing too, and this is another one that I have to remember because I just do. You have women out here who are people. Okay, we're gonna have to put there's a reason the incel and femcel is mentioned, even though I don't think that there is a femcel. I think there's an incel, but the femcel, she's actually a little more promiscuous. She's not even celibate. That's neither here nor there. This incel femcel energy, these people really struggle with the fact that people are dating, people are having successful relationships, people are, they are really struggling around that. People's been kissed. People have people that are in love with them and can't let them go. They really struggle with wanting that, not understanding that they are far more lucky than many of us. They don't really get that. And on top of that, and I say they're far more lucky because they don't have to deal with the woes and the ups and downs that we have to when it comes to people always had, been in our faces and want to date us, or people who we like and don't like. Well, a lot of us like, that's why eventually we wise up and we don't care for relationships, the ones of us that have it. These femcel and incels, right? Especially what you call a femcel, it is fake friend. That's what she is. She's a femcel. She's a pick me, right? As well as a mammy, as well as insecure. She hates herself. We can go on and on and on about what she is, right? And you are the opposite of that. Here's where it gets more weird. Now, me personally, I never was the popular girl in school. Do I have the aesthetics and the look of the popular girl? Yes, I do. I have the look of even being that weird goth girl in school. But even the weird goth girl can be a popular girl in school, right? Okay, so that's the aesthetic of me and what I look like. You need to understand, and if you out there, if you're a dude and you're listening to me, if you got that disc jockey look, right? This is what their brain sees. They see that part of themselves where the fuck they are stuck. Do you hear me? So you look like the popular girl, and you may have been the nerd, you may have been the girl who didn't talk to nobody, you may have been the girl that uh was the virgin for a long time. That was me. You may have been the lesbian girl nobody knew, and you hid that, or soon you came out later, whatever it may be. Okay, that is what comes, that's what you, but see, this is where the brains don't work well most of the time. Let me tell you something about them too, with the fake girl, the fake friend, that is the female fake friend. A lot of times she was the girl fighting in school. She was the girl around the drug dealers and all the terrible people in the school. A lot of times, this is where it gets really weird, right? She was the one who was around the big bad ass troublemakers in school. She was the one in and out of jail, right? All of this stuff. Or she may have had a father in jail, mother on drugs, or father on drugs, whatever. This is her fucking life. And you look like this popular girl, whatever, who probably got the boy that she had a crush on. Stupid shit. And so in her brain, how she gets vengeance is through fucking who somebody is with. I'm gonna fuck your husband. I'm gonna fuck your boyfriend. I see y'all together. I'm gonna do that. And then to turn it up, I see that the two of you are best friends. So I'm gonna make your best friend, and you turn on each other, and I'm gonna make her fuck him, and I'm gonna watch all this shit go down. And you just like, bitch, you need to just write a book, right? Bitch, you need to go to screenplay. You need to go to screenwriting school and just learn how to write a screenplay. What is this? This is too much. You got too much time on your hand. I don't have enough energy to do this. But they do. But they do. This is their psychotic vengeance upon the world that they do. They're equivalent to the ways of a serial killer without the actual serial killing. I had a situation in my life a long time ago, and it used to eat me up. And I used to play it in my head. What if I would have got up and fought this woman? What if I would have got up and just threw something at her? What if I would have, what? I always think about this shit. And after she did that shit and she left the class, she never came back to school again. She never came back to school again. I never seen her on that campus. I never saw her again. You know why? Because she completely embarrassed herself. And I even believe that professor told her about herself too. Okay? Because she did not like the professor. She had this vendetta with the professor, just all fucked up. And let me tell you what's so deep about it, y'all. I could have got her beat up. You want to know how? I had her Facebook. She was from Southside like me. She also knew my family. I also knew her family who lived down the street from my family. Do you see how quick I could have got this bitch touched without her even knowing where it came from? So you have to understand the reason why people like you are the people like you, because it shows you how fucked up and stupid people like that are. Trust me, I could have got her touched. I bet you if I would have told the professor, I'm not worried about it, I'm going to get her touched, that professor probably wouldn't have did a goddamn thing. I would have sent the professor a video of that bitch getting stomped out, and that professor wouldn't have did a goddamn thing. The professor was like, tell her this and that. She wanted me to touch that bitch. You get what I'm saying? But you got to understand something. Sometimes situations where you may feel like a punk, whatever, you got to understand these motherfucking incel, femcel people, these fake friends, that weird ass energy shit, something in you knows this motherfucker wants to destroy me by me destroying them, or them finding a way to destroy me. You can feel it in your spirit. And so when you have these type feelings, you got to get the fuck away. You got to avoid. I'm going to tell you the real secret to really getting rid of these people. 1 second. My ear is like way too cold. The real secret to getting rid of these people: police. Police. The authorities. Restraining orders. The courtroom. Trust me, that's their biggest fear. They don't want to go back to jail. They don't want to be in them courts. Trust me, that's their biggest fear. And I know that sounds strange, doesn't it? You would be like, I'd rather get somebody to beat them up. Nope. That's expected from them. Run them over by a car. Nope. That's expected of them. You know what I'm saying? Whatever little sneaky little plotty plan you got for them, that's expected. They've been playing that game longer than you. Okay? But the game that they don't play is going to jail, being humiliated by the system. This person is stalking me, you prove the stalking. This person's harassing me, you get the receipts and you prove the harassing. You write a full report. You get a legal aid or a full fucking lawyer, and demand that person take it to court. I want this person and their family and this and that and this to stay the hell away from me. That is what you do to them. And it's weird. And trust me, they're going to get a kick out of the fact that you came out your pocket to pay for a lawyer and did that for them. They're fucked up. They are fucked up. And this is why I keep saying something is a bit slow. Something is a bit off on the spectrum about these motherfuckers. Okay? And when you sit back and you think about it, and you sit back and you hear all these stories, you can feel and hear exactly what I'm saying too. I paused 1 second. Now, what if right now in your life, from what you've been listening to from the past 3 or 4, 5, 6 shows that I've done, you realize you might have a fake friend in your radar, right? You may realize, like, wait, this is a fake friend, right? But I'm gonna first give you freestyle things to tell if number one signs and all of these things in no particular order that you have a fake friend. How much do you really, number one, how much do you really know about their lives? I might have to type this in the chat. Okay. We're going to type this in the chat, and I might go ahead and show on the stream because we're going to type this in the chat. Okay. How much do you really know about their lives? And does any of it prove or seem? All right, here we go. Boom. I like that. Oh, I get to put it on the screen. Much better. How much do you really know about their lives? And does any of it prove or feel to be true? Meaning, how much do you really know about where they're from, where they attended school? That's the first two main things that is very important to know about people. I know it sounds strange. I don't give a fuck if they're in California. I don't give a fuck if they're in Utah. I don't care where they at. Okay, I don't care if they're in Ukraine. You need to be able to know about their lives and see, because everybody has a yearbook. If they don't have it, their guardian has it. Whoever raised them has that yearbook. If it's a sibling that raised them, that sibling gonna have that yearbook. Whoever is a major part of their life when they was in high school, that person has their yearbook. Okay, so if somebody doesn't have a yearbook, right, or somebody can't show you a yearbook, everybody shows their yearbook, right? We're American. That's very key. And how much they tell you about their life, can it prove to be true? I mean, can it be tangible? Can you see it? Can you see it on social media? Can you see it on Facebook? Can you see the family? Can you research and can you see, right? And does it feel to be true? Meaning, does it make sense? Does it make sense? Also pay attention. What part of their life do they constantly talk about? Okay, that's a part inside of part one. What parts of their life do they constantly talk about? This is why you have to journal, people. This is why I encourage journaling, journaling, journaling on anybody, on everybody. I don't give a damn if you don't know them. You goddamn journal. Okay? It sounds strange, but you just do that. Okay. Number two. Very simple one. Some people might have thought this would be number one, but I just family life be like. What they family life be like. And I put be like on purpose. What that shit be like. What was the mama? Who was the guardian? Was they raised by their grandma? Their dad? Was they raised in the foster care system? Because adopted people don't usually tell you that they're adopted. That's the one thing. Adopted people will not tell you that they have been adopted. You have to be living a life like me to know. So if you were majority raised by your grandmother, you were in the streets, stuff like that, I'm gonna get that somebody was adopted. But if you come from a family life, mom, dad, siblings, a big old nuclear family setting, you're not going to really get the truth that they've been adopted. Okay. All right. So that's number 2. I'm freestyling here. Number 3. Now we kind of walking a bit into, that's the basic stuff, but now we kind of walking into the red flags. What are their snaps? What are their snaps? What do they get attitudes about? What do they get attitudes about? What do they get snappy about? What do they get angry about? What is it that you say and you can hear that they get snappy about what you say? Okay? What's their tone? So, like, let's say I'll be like, oh, T bought me flowers, and these flowers are so pretty. And I love flowers, because they does buy me flowers. And it's so cute because she put a little, glove around it, a little her glove that she wears at work, her medical glove at work around it. It's just so cute. And they go, oh, that's cute. Right? Or you hear them go, oh, that's nice. But you can hear and you can feel, right? You can feel, right? Something ain't right with that. What are they snaps? Like, like, oh, okay, girl, you going crazy over flowers. Something like that. Like, something like that. You see what I'm saying? You gotta pay attention to that. What do they get mad about? Do they get angry because somebody didn't put the cans in the drawer facing the same way and it's not all categorized? Do they snap over stuff like that? Those things are called OCD, but how much emotion do they put into it? When somebody has OCD people, I'm one of them. We just fix things. We don't complain really. We just go, we do a deep breath and we fix it. We just fix it. We just fix it behind somebody. That's what OCD people do. But when somebody is snapping, y'all need to fix this and this and that, and I'm sick of these kids being this way, and they might pick up the can and throw it. I mean, I'm being for real, and you just be like, ooh, girl, it's not that serious. And also, if you talk to them and then they be like, well, you need to do this and this, and I remember one time, right? I was like, Shay Shay is a girl name, and y'all know who Shay Shay is. That guy who interviews everybody, right? He sits there with his legs crossed and stuff like that. I'm not one of those, but I'm just making a point. And I was saying how the divestors clown him for being called Shay Shay and all this kind of stuff. And they were like, his name is Shannon. And so they call him Shay Shay. And I was like, ooh, whoa. I mean, you do know I'm talking about them, not myself. I'm talking about them. Those little things, do not let them pass you by. Okay? Do not ever let their snaps pass you by. Their snaps are in their tone. You see, I told you I have a neighbor that in her tone when she talks, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bitch? I don't address it because that's the way she feels about me. But I can hear when her voice changes when she talks to certain people. Do you see? That's the way the person feels about me. So you have to look at that. Okay. It was something else that hit me while I was talking about that. What are their snaps? Which is what are their temperaments? I know I said snaps, but I should. What are their temperaments? what is, I'm trying to think about something because it was a red flag from what I was just talking about with the snapping and the temperaments. Control issues. How they try to control you. How are they trying to control you? Okay. These are obvious, right? I'm trying to give you much deeper ones, but these things are very important. How do they try to control you? What do they always try to coerce you to do? Remember, they're always testing how far, because this is what they do. They've been doing this since kids. This is how their life goes. What is it that they try to say to you to make you do? How much do they use the word we? Okay, they use this word. Okay, they use the word we a lot. They use the word bestie a lot. Okay, all this stuff, right? Bestie a lot, right? Titles, basically. This is all connected. This is how they control you, and they use we, and they use oh bestie, and but we gonna get into the bestie part. Control you meaning that they try to control uh everything about how you do life. I had somebody that tried to get me to fight my mother. Yes, she literally tried to get me to fight my own mother. You know why? Because she would fight her mother. So she tried to get me to fight her mother. Okay. Now I want to tell you something else. That is also tying into what I'm going to tell you next. Going back into the beginning, where they are stuck, where they want you to be. That place where they are stuck is where they want you to be just like them. That place where they are stuck is where they want you to be just like them. I'm going to explain that. Going back to what I just said, this person did things like that, disrespected their mother, fought their mother, right? Fought their own family members and stuff. Just carried on crazy. And you don't want to fight your sister. Not like that, at least. Especially in your adult years. You don't want to be in your mother's living room or your parents' living room scrapping with a sibling. We're grown now, right? But they will. You gotta understand, they will. Okay, that's what they do, and that is what they do. And you damn sure don't want to be fighting on your mom, right? But they do. And you don't even want to be throwing hands with your kids, but they will. Here's the thing about that place where they are stuck is where they want you to be just like them. If they dated someone that was a terrible, abusive partner, they'll try to encourage you to be with someone just like that. If they have was with somebody who was on drugs real bad, they will encourage you to stay in a relationship and be in a relationship just like they had to endure. Do you understand how this goes? If they you get the point. They will encourage this. They will encourage you to be in this fucked upness the way they were in that fucked upness. All right, let's move on. What do they get out of you? Right? This is I think I should put a star next to this one. This is the biggest red flag where a lot of us where we begin to walk away. Mm-hmm. we begin to walk away. Let's go back to 5 too, okay? Because 5 is we, is what they use a lot, bestie a lot, because it connects to this right here, okay? And it connects to number 7. I'm glad I numbered it. What do they get out of you? Meaning, what kind of questions do they ask you about yourself? What kind of casual conversations do they have to get things out of you? What things do they try to pressure out of you the most? Right? What is it that they dig out of you? Like they always trying to dig. When you be like, I don't talk about that. That part of you that they keep trying to dig out. That's when they're gonna lean on in the we and the bestie real heavy on you. And this is coming into what my caps? I like writing in caps. Come on. Lack of boundaries. Their lack of boundaries. All of it is lack of boundaries, actually. But their lack of boundaries. What they try to get out of you? What time of the day are they calling you? What kind of conversations are they having with you when they call you at this time? How are they trying to push things out of you? I remember one guy said to me, while we share and we tell each other everything and this and that. And I couldn't believe I was in my young 30s, but I could not believe. No, I wasn't. I was coming into mid 30s, actually. No, I was in my young 30s. I sure the hell was. It was like 33, something like that. I couldn't believe somebody that was well in their 40s was acting like this, right? Well, we know we should tell each other everything. And, I want to get married and all this bullshit, right? This complete, utter bullshit. And I'm like, is this a 40-year-old doing this? And I'm 30 something. And this is the game he's playing. I feel very bad for any very young girl who gets involved with this dude. Like, seriously, right? But that was nothing. That was like something I was just observing a little bit, right? But lack of boundaries. What time do they call you? What boundaries do they try to set for you? That's another thing. Right? What boundaries do they set for you, but the boundaries that they lack with you? You get what I'm saying? They set boundaries for you when it comes to them. Oh, I can't pick up the phone. I'm busy. But when you are doing certain things, they start exuding their boundaries like, oh, I can't talk at this time. Or you called me and this and that. I'll give you an example of something I didn't even do. So my phone was messed up, my last phone. And so if I call somebody, it will do this thing where it will load. So if it's loading, I just think that it's connecting. But I didn't know that if it was connecting, that it was ringing, right? Oh, damn, I got to get my charger, y'all. This phone, damn, that was quick. Give me a minute. I'm going to go ahead and tell this before I go. I didn't know that it was ringing, right? And so she calls me on the meet and she rages. Why you keep calling me? I can't log back into my job and this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. Go find something to do and blah, 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 blah. Now, a lot of you out there will be like, a lot of things, but you got to pay attention to why these type of situations begin to happen. This is when the relationship gets this way because they build the way they're going to treat you through time. How have they treated you through time? Right? Because they're slow. Their manipulation is slow. So it's 1 year. It's the first of a few months. It's 1 year. It's 2 years. It's 3 years. You see what I'm saying? And then after these certain amount of time, that's when you start, the face and the intentions start coming out. Like it's like they can't hide it no more. That's why if you notice some women who made it out, they're like, well, this happened within a year. Well, I was friends with this person for a very long time. Some people don't even say the years because they can't believe that they, you know what I'm saying? I understand it. Like I said, I'm between 30 to 20 years of being friends with people. And then I'm going to have to get into more of that. Okay, let me go get my charger, but I'm going to go ahead and put 11 down. I want to say, let me just go ahead and type it down anyway. Because this one is the ultimate manipulation right here. Okay, I'm going to fill this one out. We're going to do that one. And then from that, I'm going to say, I'm going to put their reputation. Now, I'm glad I wrote it down. Give me a minute to get this charger. We're going to get into that, the next two. Okay, I'm back. That was quick. Nice and quick. All right. Let's get this together here. I don't know why I never bring the charger. I don't know why I do that. Okay. So, moving forward, right? They are studying some psychology and mental illness in school, always went to college or have a degree. Okay. I guaranteed you, your fake bestie. This right here is the ultimate trick of the trade. Do you hear me? This is why this should be behind the wall. But hey, let's just get it going. They are always studying some psychology and mental illness in school. Do you know why they tell you this? Do you know why they tell you this? So that you can trust them with what you're going through. So that you can talk to them like you would talk to a psychologist. You see, that's why they do that. Understand why. I know it's heavy, okay? For anybody out there listening, it's heavy. I get it. You got to get back into the brain of the fem cell incel. Remember, I told you, I don't think the promiscuous, the fem, I got to give her another name. She's not a fem cell. she fucks. Okay? What y'all call the fem cell fucks. Please take celibate out her name. All right? We're going to get to that part in a minute. I kind of got into it, but we'll get to that part. They're always studying some psychology and some mental illness in school. They always went to college or they always have some degree. But always pay attention to how they went to college for a degree and how they got the degree. So do they have the degree, or did they go to college for the degree, or did they go to college at all? Did they go anywhere? Okay. So you have to also, So you have to pay attention to that part. Now, this right here is the banger next to number 7. This is the banger of things. Okay. This is number 7. What do they get out of you and how? Let me tell you something. You do not, okay, especially for you out there who may be younger than 40, all right, and younger than 25, younger than 30. Let me tell you something. If anybody is a certified anything, mental illness therapy or anything like that, You only go to a space where you can see who they are, their credentials, like government certified credentials, certifications, and put yourself in a space like advertised, like Better Health and all of these different spaces where people cannot lie about their credentials. Learn your laws. It is okay to pick up the law book, learn your laws, learn the law of what is it to be a certified psychologist, mental illness specialist, all kind of things before you get involved with people. Okay? This person, the fake friend, only does this to hurt people, to get back, to set their psychotic vengeance. It's a psychotic vengeance. It's a psychotic vengeance. This is around the globe. Okay? I know we talk about the fake friend energy, but this can apply to anything that you may be experiencing. But for those of you who are realizing you may have a fake friend. Okay. Let's get to they already have a sense of psychology of people because they know how to use people. And what's more dark about them is that somebody like them getting into psychology, um it's just it's scary. Do you get what I'm saying? But I also noticed too that it is a beautiful thing that you can choose who you want to be your psychologist. Their reputation around them, their reputation around them, how they behaving on social media, how they respond on social media, how many different pages do they have on social media. I remember one of them, I remember this one lady, she was really good at knowing who people are and they're trolling. And I mean, it's not hard to tell. It's the strangest thing that even if you change your name, people know who you are. And so she was very good for that. And her problem was she's very like triggering. She likes to attack people, like to let you know she knows that it's you. And I remember she had called me my old name, and I was like, "Oh shit, what's up? That's my old poetry performing name. But how you been? You know?" That's how I did that because I wasn't hiding nothing. I just was under my new name, my rebrand or whatever. I was young, and so this same person, she was like, I came into her room, and she knew it was me, and she got scared. And she wasn't scared. She started digging, and she was like, I wonder how she knew it was me. You see what I'm saying? So you have people, they was each other's zodiac sign too. You have people who you have to keep an eye on them. You know what I mean? You have to keep an eye on anybody that you deal with. You have to watch. The thing is, the reputation around them is, how does their family respond to them? What are their relationships with their siblings? um this all falls into reputation. Oops. That was a mistake. Can I erase that? Okay, let's do that again. I wish my caps would stop coming off. Okay, so we at the top of the hour. Okay, let's all turns to 13 and 12 and 13 fall into each other. The reputation around them. Now, I'm gonna keep this more blunt and direct. Okay, so I once joined the school PTA, and what happened was, I remember when I got there, there was the woman had a lot of people around, and then I realized that all of the people wasn't around no more. And I noticed that the people she held the closest to her completely stopped fucking with her. Completely stopped fucking with her, right? And I noticed that the people, like anybody that was around this lady, just did not fuck with her no more, right? And then, I'm just bringing that example. When you see somebody who they hardcore around, they hardcore around, hardcore talk to, and that motherfucking person disappear out their life, that's a tall tale motherfucking sign for you about who that person is. Okay? That's a tall tale sign about who that person is. Reputation is everything in life. Okay? I teach my children this. Reputation is everything in life. And you can be guilty by your association. There was a woman's show that, if people remember me, I am guilty by the association with that show. If I would come into somebody else's room, people would want me not there. I'm trying to tell you, it brings trouble. All right. And that's just somebody on the show. That's just social networking world. But in my real life, when I was young, I was guilty by the association of someone who's not here no more, right? When I was younger. You got to look at the reputation around them. See, this is the thing about the fake friend, right? And I have to laugh at this part because this is the funniest part of it all. A lot of the people around them don't like them. It's not the same thing that you go through. So you need to understand this as the person going through this fake friend situation. See, you go through people not liking you for jealousy and envious reasons. You got shit about you that people just mad about, right? Haters, not them. People don't like them because of them, who they are, their ways, the things that they do, how they talk to people, how they treat people. People don't like them. Their own family don't like them. Nobody likes them, no matter where they go. And they're delusional. I want to make that clear. They're delusions. Did I spell that right? Delusions. I'm gonna get to that. I think I spelled there wrong. Okay. Yeah, delusions. Delusions. That should be, it's underlining, but I don't know how did I spell it wrong? 13. 12, excuse me. Their reputation around them, right? Which falls into 13. How they talk about people. See? Anybody who talks a lot of shit, talks a lot of shit. And these are things I had to learn. Okay? Like, you may not realize it, but you may start picking up the behaviors of these fake friends. Yeah. You make sure I put that out because that's the key. Okay. Let me put that up there for 15. You have to be careful of picking up their behaviors, right? Because we're still on 13. Because how they talk about people tells you who they are. I had a dream. I know that's wild, but I had a dream, right, about this friend. And I wanted to be clear, y'all. This is multiple people in my life. This is not one person. Even if that person is listening, like, this is not one person. This is multiple people I have experiences with. I am 40 years old, okay? 41 soon. So the thing is, I had a dream about a friend, and we're gonna call it fake friend. I had a dream about the fake friend, and we was on the phone together, and I was looking at a picture of this woman, whoever she was in the dream. I thought she looked beautiful. I liked her wedding dress. Something about the way she looked that I liked. And she said just the most nastiest shit you can think to say about somebody having this moment in their wedding dress. And I say all that to tell you, somebody, this fake friend, right? If they are talking about someone, their family life, family, friends, people, somebody, right? And then suddenly they go, and then she was with this guy who gave her a STD, and I told her she need to leave him alone, but she still keep messing with him. Like shit like that. Or they go, I remember She-Ra 7 used to do shopping on a budget at Family Dollar, right? And it's like, but we but how is your cousin doing now and how is She-Ra 7, right? But then it goes into, yeah, my sister, you know, her boyfriend is an alcoholic and she's so fucking stupid for fucking even dealing with him and this, that, and the third, right? And even though this may be true, I want you to start just analyzing things with your boundaries. This is where your boundaries have to pick up. I'm very protective over my family. Now, I have seen family members cross boundaries. I have seen family members fight in public, do things in public to each other that should have been done literally behind closed doors. Because there's families that they will fight, but they will fight in that house and they will never take the fight outside. You might see somebody storm out the door or something, but that family member will stand at that door and they won't say a damn thing. They'll let that motherfucker run off. Okay, that's what family do. That's what family's supposed to do for each other, right? So then what happened is, this is not what they do. This is a part of the boundary things with them. You have to pay attention to that. Like, why would you talk about your sister like that? Right? Why would you talk about your own cousin that way? Or what, like, I understand we have feelings, right? And we have things that we feel, but we talk about our family in certain ways. See, even though my sister-in-law and me are not the best in a relationship because she doesn't really know me, I still respect my sister-in-law. Do you get what I'm saying? And I won't tell my sister-in-law's business because that's my brother's wife. Do you see how that dynamic goes? I'll never tell any of my nephew's business because that's still my nephew. All, even if I'm upset and disappointed at something they did, still that is my family, right? We only share that level of our feelings to our partners, to our lovers, to our spouses, correct? These are the people that get us to that capacity. A friend gets us to a certain capacity. But when someone is talking like that, that is something to pay attention to. And I hope you received everything I just said. We're still at the top of the hour. We're a little bit after the hour. So, how they talk about people, right? And especially their own family, right? Because you got to understand with the fake friend, in the femcel incel, they don't have they don't have great relationships. They don't have great relationships. I need you to understand that. They don't have a life of love. They don't get it. They don't get why life doesn't happen for them the way it happens for you. That's what you need to understand about this. Life happens for you because you didn't say, I'm stuck in being the girl at school that was quiet and timid and hated school and sat down and did art all day. You got older and you learned how to go to the spa, how to go to wine tasting events. You got older and you took yourself to school and you took it serious. You got older and see, and then when you went to school on your own, while when they went to school, somebody had to help them go to school. You see what I'm saying? Somebody pushed them to go to school, college, or whatever. You didn't have to do all that. You just got your ass up. You knew what you wanted. You also said, I want my life to be what my life was. You didn't say you wanted a family, kids, a husband, this, that, and a man, a wife, this, that, and the third. More than likely, that's the life that they believe that they had to do. You gotta remember, these people are stuck. This fake friend is stuck somewhere very deeply that you and I can never ever dig or figure out. Okay. And that's a place that they're choosing to be in, and they're choosing to behave this way. I like the stories, sidebar here. I like the stories of people when they show, like, like the orphan. They always show stories of people who are, like, really, adults, but they look like children. That is who the fake friend is. They're an adult that's still a child, that looks like a child. Most of the time they still do look very young. And that's another thing that is very odd, that you have to pick that up to see what about them is still very young, about the way they dress, they move, the things they do, the way they move their head, stuff like that. Okay, let's go. Their delusions. Their delusions is most of the time what they're comparing their life to be. Okay. That means that they're like, well, this person loves me, and this person does anything in the world for me, and this person is who I care about, and this person is this, that, and the third, and they're this and that, and they're that and this. This is their delusions. And you clearly can see that that's none of what they're saying is none of what they with none of what they're saying is none of what is happening. None of what they're saying is none of what is happening. Okay? You also they lie. They are liars. Do you hear me? They are liars. They are liars. They're delusional. They'll say, I'm the person they're with is one race when clearly they're not. I have a degree in this and I wrote a book in this. They're only just saying all that stuff because you are doing it. See, that's the thing. What you are doing is what they're saying that they're doing. They're not doing none of it. And if they're doing it to be in competition with you. But let's get back to the weird energy that they're given. The weird energy is, why me? Right? Why me? Number 15 is going to answer, why you? You start picking up their behaviors, and now you're not so likable no more. They got you. That's exactly where they want to get you at. You start picking up their behaviors. You don't even realize that you do. That now you're not even likable no more. You start picking up their dumbness, their rudeness, their meanness. You start picking it up. And they even encourage you to be mean. They encourage you to carry on this behavior because they don't want no one to like you. Do you see how it works? They hate the fact that you are so likable. They hate the fact that you like yourself. Isn't that some dark shit? And now you done picked up their behavior because that's what they want. They want you to be just as trashy, nasty, and dumb as them. They want you to look just as trashy and nasty as they do. They want you to get away from working out and being who you are. They want you to be nothing because they are nothing and they feel like they're nothing. See, that's the delusions that they have. That relationship that they have, they ain't honest about. Remember, they live their life manipulating everybody, everyone, sleeping with their own mother's boyfriend, sleeping with their sister's boyfriend, sleeping with their cousin's boyfriends, doing competitive shit. They have like that doesn't, it's not a gender when I say who slept with who. You know what I'm saying? They have done all of this type of shit to cause all kind of disruption even in their own family. And they hate the fact that you're likable. They're not likable. They don't know how to be likable. This is what I'm trying to tell you. There's some kind of slowness, there's some kind of behavioral issue going on with these people. You literally can have a fake friend that was in a remedial class and you wouldn't even know it. Ain't that some dark shit? I'm going to put it like this. You can literally be friends with someone who was the retard, who was the functioning retarded student in the school. The functioning retarded student in the school. Because one thing in the hood I've always noticed, even if somebody is off and that's a family member, whatever, they all keep each other close, even though they know this one person is off. And so they, they make sure the friend is fly, the friend look good, like they help the friend get relationships, and they kind of maneuver the friend how to act and stuff because they know they're a little off, they know they slow. That's cool. You probably being fake friends with, because that fake friend is somebody you probably would have never even been friends with. Here's another thing you need to look at. I think before I go that, let me just say, and would you really I'll explain. Where the fuck did they come from? And would you really be friends with them if? Where the fuck did they come from? And would you really be friends with them if? That means that. How did this person get into your life? Where did they come from? See, the best friend from high school came from high school. And I approached her. See, I approached her. Me and her remained friends. And other people was virtual, right? Would you really have been friends with them? When you look at your life now, right? When you look at where life is for you right now as the glow up adult that you are, would you really be friends with this person? See, this is where we have to dig into you now. And you know the answer would be no. I know all of you would say no. If you think about the type of friend, like you can't take a You don't know these people, but you can still aesthetically know what you would like. Grab a celebrity right now. Grab three. Put them at the table with you. And who would be your friend? I tell you who would be mine. If I wanted a celebrity circle to be my friends, I think you all know already who it would be. Number one, Shonda Rhimes. Number two, Lena Waithe. And number three, Samira Wiley. Those are the three people that will be my friends. Shonda, because I could learn something from her. You know what I'm saying? That's the friend that, first of all my friends got their shit together. You know what I'm saying? They in the industry, they got their shit together. They working in the industry of work that I love. So you got two showrunners and you got an actor. Makes sense to me. At this point in my life, makes so much sense that those will be my friends. Name three celebrities will be your friend. Think about that. Why did I say celebrities? I'm talking about the aesthetic. I was making it easier for you to think about it. The aesthetic, the lifestyle, the reputation. The aesthetic, because these things are key. I cannot spell aesthetic for shit. It's aesthetic. All right. I keep fitting as aesthetic. The aesthetic, the lifestyle, and reputation. That's what it's about. Aesthetically, you know this person doesn't match as your friend. And if they do try to match, they're copying you and they're dressing like you and they're looking like you. The aesthetics, the lifestyle. Now, I'm going to tell you something in your life of elevating yourself. One thing an older friend kept telling me, get a degree, get a degree. Let me tell you something. You can get a certification in something. There's certification courses that last a year. Okay. You still 6 weeks. It still takes work to get those certification. If you do not complete that certification, you don't get the certificate. It's that simple. So that's work that you have to put in to be certified in whatever it is. I could become a certified modern screenwriter. I can get a certificate in being a screenwriter. I can get a certificate from taking a certain screenwriter's course, whatever topic it may be. Okay. There's accolades and credentials that I'm building, right? The aesthetic, the lifestyle, and the reputation, because that's all a part of reputation. Your aesthetics, your lifestyle is all a part of your. I should have put aesthetics plus lifestyle equal reputation. It all puts it together. You are told in your glow up journey to always be around people who are better than you, right? You're always told to be around people who are better than you. You are told this. I'm starting to realize that there's something psychological there with that, because it makes the mind go higher. This is why I told you it goes back to what I said. They always are into psychology and studying mental illness. They always have to throw degrees out there, because remember, they do study people more than what we realize, this fake friend. And they've studied you more than what you realize, this fake friend. Okay. So what happens is, this is why you be around people of a certain caliber, because you understand the importance of them being in that certain caliber. Okay. So that means that when someone tells you that they are something, you know that they have to be certified or they have to have a degree in that. So you need to see that certification in or degree in that. See, no, somebody can be a lawyer and not pass the bar exam, And so they'll get a certain something when they graduate because they didn't pass the bar. Pay attention to that. Somebody can work in the medical field, and I think I don't know much about medical, but you can always teach yourself, right? Okay, about what is, I mean, we know what a nurse is. We know that there's different levels to a nurse. We know that there's a registered nurse. We know that there we know there's different type of doctors. There's estheticians. We know that there's surgeons, right? We know that there's just a doctor, right? And then when there's all different type of things that we know, but we know that these type of things, you can go online, you can see people's name in or picture, and you can see that they are what the credentials are that they say that they are. Lifestyle, you also see how people of a certain caliber live their lifestyle. I'm trying to tell you, this fake friend don't live it. I'm guaranteed you most of the time the fake friend is pretending, but they don't live that lifestyle. There was a woman who said she was friends with this woman, and that's, it goes back to the first two that I told you, and she did not know even where the woman worked, despite all the woman said. uh you know, she said she didn't know what where the woman worked at. It was what number was that? um let's go. Remember, this is not in no particular order. I'm dead ass brainstorming, but I'm getting it all out. Okay. So the aesthetics, the lifestyle, and the reputation. Now, I need to make this very clear because for me, this is damn important. The one thing that holds us back, and all us people who have lived long enough to tell you, who have lived long enough to tell you, you have to look at how people live their life and what they're aiming for. And when you have someone who you have known for a long time and there has been no growth, that is not the person you need to have in your life while you are growing. That will hinder a door. That will close 10 doors in your motherfucking life. Do you hear me? 10. I'm going to tell you, it's going to close 10 fucking doors in your life. Still having someone like that carrying on with you. We come into this life for elevation, self unfoldment, self reflection. I need to write that down. We come into this life for elevation, self unfoldment, self reflection. Write that down. Seriously, we come into life for elevation, self unfoldment, and self reflection. Reflection. We do not come into this life, unless that's where you want to be stuck where we were in high school with the same person who's still stuck there, who's still stuck with the drama in their family, still stuck in not living their life, still stuck in having horrible relationships, still stuck in having um spousal, marital, relationship problems with everybody, still stuck in a place where they have not healed, still stuck and not trying to get therapy. They're stuck. We're not here to be in that. Self unfoldment. Self unfoldment means the glow up, the transformation, letting it go. We 30 minutes after the hour, letting it go, moving on with our life, doing what is best, uh, reading the books, meeting ourselves halfway. That's the self unfoldment. Changing the way we dress, throwing away clothes we no longer wear. No one the no more that we will not ever wear or we don't wear anymore. That's self unfoldment. Deciding and saying, this is the life path and purpose and mission that I'm on in my life. Self unfoldment, self reflection, the ability to self reflect, the ability to go inside yourself and self reflect, go into therapy, get on the meds if you have to get on it, all of this stuff. They will do all of these things. Your fake friend to go to therapy and get on the meds, but they ain't doing none of this that I'm telling you. They're going to say it. They're going to talk about it. They're going to make it seem as if. See, if you really are transforming and changing, they're going to say, well, such and such, fill in the blank, because they always use other people's name, said that, I've changed a lot, and it scares them because they can't believe I have changed, and I have changed so much, and they said this and that. They always use they always do that. They, and they don't. They do that a lot. But you have to see it for yourself. Don't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they say. What do you see? Do you see elevation in their life? Do you see self unfoldment in their life? Do you see self reflection in their life? If you don't see none of these three, I mean, if you don't see all three, I actually say adios. I don't think you should see one, two, three. No, you need to see all three. And trust me, this is not something you can't unsee. See, the same way that they can't hide how much they hate you, people can't hide how much they change. That's the beauty of life. Life is so beautiful like that. It's like the same way people can't hide how much they really hate you or really don't like you. It's the same way people can't hide how much they have changed and elevated to something better than what they used to be. That's that parallel thing. Now, moving forward, if there's anything else I wanted to make up. Now, these things are more key than anything. 16, 17, and 18 is more key than anything that you will ever know. Where the fuck did they come from? And would you really be friends with them if? And I told you to name 3 celebrities off the top of your head. Number 17, the aesthetics, the lifestyle, and the reputation. Your aesthetics plus your lifestyle equals your reputation. 18, elevation, self-unfoldment, and self-reflection. All of that right there. Put stars next to those. Because that is your check-off list when you meet the fake friend. Everybody gets a check-off list in your life. Do you understand me? Everybody gets one. Don't you let these TV shows, don't you let anybody, these whoever these people are out here, I don't have to name them. Don't let them make you for being that way. Everybody should be studied to a goddamn T. I'm applying everything I'm telling you to my life. It's a book that I'm writing that is staying in my house. And it's going to be put down in a certain place in my house. I'm going to sit down and write about every single body in my goddamn life and what I observe. And most of all, what the fuck I observe about myself. That is a part of elevation. That's a part of self-unfoldment, and damn sure it's part of self-reflection. Let me tell you something. It's not hard to spot a fake friend. It's these 3 things right here that is very telling of where you want to be with this person. Do you feel like blocking them? This is all tying in, because we're going to reflect back to how 19 got here. Do you feel like blocking them? Do you feel like blocking them? Is there something in your spirit that feels like blocking them? Let me tell you something. Most of the time, you should follow that feeling. But I'm going to tell you, there's a reason you're not following the feeling, because if you block them, you can't keep an eye on them. But you have to be careful with that too. Okay, that's number 20. All right. Let's take it back. Okay? Let's take it back. Picking up their behaviors, and now you're not likable no more. We're going back to 15, right? That's what it says. Picking up their behaviors, and now you're not likable no more, right? So you realize that you're picking up this person's behavior, right? So this is the part where you have to have your awakening, right? Because you know, if you pick up their behavior, you're going to start picking up people who's more like their behavior around you, right? Yeah, you're going to be this pretty, beautiful, fabulous person hanging around with sloth, with slums, ugly motherfuckers that do not deserve your time or your space. That's what will happen to you with this person, okay? You're gonna start asking yourself where the fuck did they come from, and would you really be friends with them? And this is gonna be who the top celebrities you will hang out around with. And most of the time, I'm gonna tell you your answer is going to be no. You wouldn't have been. Don't go back. Don't even go back to if you would be friends with them in high school. Fuck that. Who are you now? Stay in the now. Would you be friends with this person? And the answer is going to guarantee be no. I know you're not going to say yes. It's going to be no. The aesthetics plus the lifestyle equals the reputation. A lot of the times, these people don't really know how to dress. They don't really have style like that. They copying you. That's what I'm telling you. Like they copying you. They really don't have. They don't have these things. They may like. I'm gonna tell you something. They can pose as, you know. I'm not saying that they can't have whatever lifestyle that they have is coming from someone else. So if they're married and the next thing you know, you notice that they're super into science and all these things. A lot of times it's the person that they're with. This is not, especially if you knew them from the past and you'll be like, you can tell, like I could tell like one of them was only what she was because of who her spouse was. Like I can tell that was that person's energy. I was like, this is not you. This is not who you are. This is what you become because of that person. You become who you become because of you. You become aesthetically and the lifestyle and the reputation. You've built that all for you. It still goes back to you did not stay stuck in being what that was, whether if you did come from a family where there was drug addicts and alcoholics, whether you did come from SA abuse, whether you did come from being put down in a and verbally abused, which to me is worse than being spanked or being beat. If you came from misogyny or whatever it was that you came from, you still aesthetically look good. You still have a lifestyle and a reputation that you built for yourself despite that. And so as life keeps going on for you, you're elevating, you're doing your self-unfoldment, and you're doing your self-reflection, right? These are all the things that you're doing. The fake friend ain't doing that. She's only mirroring you. She's not doing none of that. You're going to find that. Why is it that you're sitting here? First of all, let's make something very clear here. This is why I'm going back to the lifestyle thing, number 17. I have been, I'm learning to be around certain people from certain lifestyles in certain ways to see the way that they live, the things that they do, what their house looks like, what is their routine, right? These different things, right? This is what they're doing to you. The same thing you're looking at this is how they're looking at you. You have to know how certain lifestyles live. My partner ex-wife was a therapist, and so she expressed that everybody needed her. Like everybody needed her. Like they barely had time to each other because she was always on call because of the subject of therapy that she did on a daily basis. And so because of this, you know, this is the lifestyle. Or someone who's with a doctor, they're on call, right? Someone who's dating a psychologist of certain levels, they're on call. People who are painters, they have their own paint studio, and they paint in their paint studio. They invest, whether family or not, they invest, or they make a paint studio area in their home that's separated. This, all of this stuff is lifestyle. Okay. And then there are certain places that people frequent when they have a certain lifestyle, and there's certain things in books, and it's so much that comes with it. So, not to drag it, they most of the time don't even they don't even match the lifestyle that they say that they are. Some things in life can be tricky. And so you have to be mindful of the tricks, because there's some lifestyles that people may think comes with being lazy. Remember, they're good at studying people. So there's some lifestyle that is perceived to be lazy. And so because they're perceived to be lazy, these are the kind of lifestyles that they claim that they have. Because these lifestyles are so perceived to be lazy that they don't, people who are on the outside don't know that these lifestyles actually are not lazy lifestyles. Just like I told you, painters have a painting studio. Okay. Writers are constantly writing. Some writers are constantly uh just in a studio. Writers are in places too, believe it or not. It's a dedicated lifestyle. It comes with a lifestyle, all of this stuff. So let me look up something. I need to keep her up because I like her. I like her vibe. Let me put, I'm just going to give you an example of something to look at. I think that we see a lot of day in the life stuff too. Um, we're not doing her. I'm trying to find something. One second, y'all. Give me a second. This is why I should have this a little bit more prepared. What are the what does everybody perceive a gamer to be? Lazy. What does everybody perceive a writer's lifestyle to be? Lazy. Any type of art is perceived to be lazy. But a lot of this stuff is not. It's about how you do the lifestyle. But this is what they are going to do to you. And I need you to pay attention to how it works. Okay. Um, and what the game that they play, right? Whatever you are, whatever you perceive yourself, whatever you are, and you introduce yourself to be to them, they have to keep familiarity, right? They have to keep things similar and familiar, right? So therefore, they're going to be something parallel to you. So if you do arts and crafts, or you make houses, right? Miniature houses, or you like to make crochet, right? You can crochet anything, right? Blankets, carpets, whatever, hats, right? Um, they're going to I crochet, and but they're going to have to one up you. You see what I'm saying? With what they do. So it's not that they just crochet, but they also have to tell you the psychology of crocheting, or that what psychology has to say about crocheting. And so they have to be something a little bit more extra than what you are, just a little step up. They're not going to take it too much of a notch. um Also, let's get back to, do you feel like blocking them? Because I'm getting back to the sofa, because what was I getting to? The lifestyle. Okay, good. There are people who lifestyles come with a look. Okay, you can wear a uniform, even as somebody, as myself. I can tell you, I can walk outside and I can look at somebody and I can tell that they are a writer. Energy works like that. I can tell that this person is got cue cards and putting stories together. I can tell if somebody's career is in the art career. Okay. I, I can tell. And I'm saying all this to say that when I had physically seen this bestie, right, I was so focused on myself, right? And um I remember sitting down. My apartment was so empty. I just had a chair. My, how have we grown? I was looking at my apartment and I'm still doing some more stuff, but I was like, damn, my apartment came a long damn way. You know what I'm saying? From where I was at when I first got here. And like just having the two carpets here and having everything is like, it's just so funny. It's so funny to me. But anyway, I remember this, and I remember this particular friend um sitting here with me. We were all talking. I was on the phone with the other fake friend, and we was all just talking and stuff, and eventually me and her started talking. And I looked at her and I was just like, same style from high school. Right? I said, like, I literally said that to myself. I'm like, she's still dressing in the same shoes, pants, and shirt. I don't give a fuck, you country. That's no excuse. Even somebody from the country knows how to style, girl. Everybody from all different walks of life. If you got style, you got style. Okay? And I like somebody who country that can put some nice overalls on. You understand what I'm saying? With them nice boots on, and they fold. Like, I like that. Everybody has a way of style, right? So just understand where my mind is at. It's like she still got the same style. And the other fake bestie, when I saw her, I was like, she still looked like how she looked in that yearbook, right? Some styles, don't get me wrong, they grow with us. See, I'm somebody that had a million different styles and a million different hairstyles. Okay, so I don't really count, but this still matters. I'm going to tell you why it matters, because it's about you. Because it's about you. You, I live a life of people who change their fucking hair in a million different styles, even if it's dreads, even if it's straight, even if it's cut off bald. I live a life of people who who's into fashion and clothes and have different styles. I live a life like that. So when I see people, if you still been dressing since the same way in high school, you ain't really my type of style. You ain't really my type of vibe. Do you get where I'm going with this? That's the aesthetic, that's the lifestyle equals the reputation. Because when that person is dressed up like that and you're used to fashion and style, you're going to find yourself not dressing too much because you're going to outdress them. You're going to be like, even if you don't even outdress them, you still going to be the center of attention. People still going to know, like, you like to get fly. You can't hide that. All right. All right. All right, y'all. Listen, don't make this too heavy. Like I said, if this is you, I'm here to help. All right? I'm here to help you. For real. All right. So, moving up, let's keep going. Um do you feel like blocking them, and do you not block them to keep an eye on them? So this ties in together. You feel like blocking them, but you don't want to block them because you feel like this motherfucker crazy. I feel like I need to make peace with why I want to leave with them and why I'm blocking them and all of this. But I'm going to tell you something that's going to happen and you have to be very careful. I need you to hear me out very carefully. They're going to know that you want to block them. I'm going to tell you what happened to them. One of them called me and was like, I was in this relationship. I remember that relationship. And she would call me and she was like, well, the reason why I blocked you was because you was reminding me of the last person that had this situation going on. And I'm like, hmm, there's something here with this. Because like I said, this person was still married. And she was saying she couldn't get her divorce. Shit that I never experienced in my life. I want you to understand what is going on when you are going through something like that. If you are even have something similar like that going on. They need to pull you into their debauchery. When they see that life is chaotic with you, they need to play a push and pull game while you're in your debauchery. They need you to be miserable with them. So they have to play a part and make it seem like, well, I'm going to block you because you're being toxic. And you don't even realize, let me tell you how deep this shit goes. You don't even realize that you have forgotten about your aesthetic, your lifestyle, and your reputation. You have forgotten about elevating and your self-unfoldment and your self-reflection. You have forgotten about you have forgot about that in all of this stuff because they have pulled you into something with them, right? But let me pull you into a sidebar right now. Let me put that on here. Sidebar. So this is sidebar. This is sidebar shit that I want you to understand. Okay. You need to understand that what is going on with you is this is a person who I know from, right? Which represents time. You are now in a time warp with them. Okay? Let me go ahead and just make that 21. You're in a time warp with them, right? So you're in this time warp with them because I knew you since high school. And then, bitch, we've been kicking it. And I seen what you're going through, and I seen your sisters, and I watched them all grow up, and everybody fucked up. But you're my bitch. This is what you're doing. Then you say, well, I knew you before you married that nigga. You my bitch. This is what you saying. And everything fucked up. And things in their life, actually, you watch their life get more fucked up. You actually watch their life get more fucked up since high school. Tell yourself the truth. Ever since you knew this bitch, their lives has been fucked up. And their lives continue to be fucked up. But your life was elevating You're doing self unfoldment, self reflection, and you even feel so bad for this pathetic fake friend that you are even trying to help her with her life by giving her the tools that you did in your life. And she's listening, but she's resenting you for trying to help her. That's what I need you to understand. That's why it keeps going back to 18. Understand something about universal law. When you start tapping into the universe, frequencies and vibrations, and understanding how it all works, and how I'm learning how it understanding how it works. And I'm going to say this again. We are supposed to grow. Plants grow. A plant will grow. It will grow around the cement. A plant will grow that same stem, that same plant will grow. It will grow around a house. It will grow all the way to the tippity top of the house. It doesn't matter if it's a mansion, and it will still keep trying to grow up to the sky. And if that plant can reach the star, it would. Plants grow up. Even if a pineapple grows up, if pineapple grows up from the ground, everybody thinks pineapple's on a tree. It's not. The pineapple grows up. And that's why when people act a certain way, that people be like, grow up. Just grow up. Because that is what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to go through changes and transformations, disciplines, consistencies in life. We are supposed to start self reflecting and realizing that life is an inside out job. This is why we make changes. This is why we focus on ourselves. This is why we go through these different phases in life in certain ages, because we're supposed to grow up. Growing up is not putting on a suit and putting on blouses. No, growing up is internal. Growing up is growing within and growing without. That's what growing up is about. So, when you are friends with this person and they are the same, literally person, style, dressing, but yet making it seem as if they're changing, but clearly the only changes you see is maybe, bitch, you got married and you got a relationship, and damn, that one fell apart. But because they don't have good relationships, they never do, and then, but then when you really start thinking about it, when you start digging, if you really want to go that far back, you'd be like, this bitch life got worse. This bitch life got worse. And my life got better. And she'll start telling you through time, she'll start telling you how she really feels. She'll use other people, because especially if you go through a place of breakdown, because shit, that's the bitch you always gonna call when you're breaking down and you're emotional and you going through stuff, because that's the fuck who she is. That's her vibration. Why do you think you're calling her? And when you call her and whoever you call a fake friend, and you tell them what they're going through, this and that, and they be like, well, people feel like this about you, and you need to understand that they do still have to pretend to be your friend and care, because time has been going on and on and on. They have to care. Well, the time that some people, they would have just did this and that, and you did that, and you just have to keep going, and this, that, and the third, but they still hate you. Don't be fooled. They're great pretenders. They know how to lie, they know how to manipulate, and they know how to still go ahead and do something fucked up to you. There are people virtually, I can tell you, I watched their life become more fucked up. As their children got older, their life became fucked up. And anytime somebody else has a life that's not fucked up, they always got something shady to say. They be so mad at other people who children are doing so good. Like, I wouldn't even want to tell this person how good my children are, because I know that they'll be so pissed off and jealous of it in their lives. They're in a mansion and they got all these things and nice cars and shit, and I know they would hate the fact that my life turned out that way because of what the fuck I come from and what the fuck they said to me. You got to understand these things. And they are lying to you. You know, when they say certain things about making it seem like they care about certain things, they don't care about anything. They don't care about anyone. They don't even care about themselves. One of them said, I feel ugly. You know, I feel like he loved me, but he think I'm ugly. And that triggered me. I didn't want to fuck with them. Even when they told me they got jumped, there was just so many things going back to the do you want to block them thing. Like it was so much about them that made me just like wanted to just click the block button. You have to follow that in your spirit. There's a reason you want to block them. See, don't be like me. I got people I cut off, blocked, came back around, cut them off again, cut them off. I was very iffy and everybody. I was roller coaster with everybody. Oh, I blocked this one. I come back and block this one. And then I unblock this one and then I come back here. Don't be like me. Okay? Don't be like me. Because that right there can fool you about who people are as well. Because I didn't realize that if you feel like blocking a motherfucker, it is with absolute reason that you want to block them, and you should listen to that. That's why I didn't feel no type of way when that one person blocked me. I was just like, but I was being kind. What happened? And I just didn't get into it. That I thought about it. I said, what maybe they not who they appear to be. Maybe that's not their page. You don't know. Like that's the dark side about online. You don't know. Somebody could be doing that page for the sake of just they coming after somebody. We watch Catfish, and then it gets too much, and they gotta block you. Something about you is not stupid. You gotta go. So you don't know what's going on behind that scene when it comes to social media. Um, I think I need to put this. This one is gonna be harsh, but we gotta put it. I need to go ahead and start cooking something too. I need you. I need you to understand that this is very important. Okay. I know it sounds harsh. We at the second top of the hour, okay? Or the top of the second hour, right? Move, Bella. What the hell is that on my floor? That's the ice. Let me tell you something. I know it sounds very harsh for me to say that, right? Let me open my back door. Get some energy back in here. They don't cut the grass now. I know it sounds harsh, right? Because I know it do, right? To sit here and be like, well, how fucked up is their life? Listen to me closely, all right? If you do anything in this world, I need you to listen to me closer, all right? Somebody with an extremely, and I'm talking about where there is no luck for this motherfucker, okay? But I'm going to get into intricate things to watch out for. Intricate things. Notice I said intricate things, okay? To watch out for about these people's lives that go on that needs to be paid attention to on a global scale. Air frying, baby. On a global scale, okay? Now, I'm no dummy, okay? So, I know how to explain this to all of you. If you just hear me out. If you just hear me out, I know how to explain it to every last one of you, okay? So we all go to work, or we supposed to be at work, right? We have to work, right? We all go to work to sustain ourselves. We all go to work to survive, to accomplish our goals. We go to work. That's the point. We all go to work. I don't gotta get into the details, right? What we all know is that asshole at work, right? We all know the asshole at work, right? We all know the. I think I'm doing this wrong. I think I'm supposed to put this in private. This, yeah, the asshole at work. We all know the quiet person at work, right? We all know the bitch at work, right? And we all know our position and superiors all at work, right? And so there is some jobs where the whole thing about the work world is that, how do I say this? Is that how do I say this? It depends on the job, right? How, but we still know how to carry ourselves professionally at work. You know, most of the time, people who become a little hated or disdained is all the time people who are like the boss of the job or a manager or something like that. If it's an employee or co-worker, people tend to navigate that a little bit more, right? And it's always like a co-worker that has like seniority, you know what I'm saying? A co-worker that, we don't have to get into, but you get what I'm saying. Your fake friend is always a manager. Okay, your fake friend is always somebody got their manager somewhere. They're always in some management position. Okay. Um, your fake friend doesn't fare well with they don't fare well with how do I say this? They don't know how to achieve something for themselves while also working. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I decided to take podcasting serious, right, and I work my job, I will get up in the morning and do my podcast early in the morning, right? Um, so I would get up in the morning and I would do my podcast because I work in the afternoon. Makes sense. And to make sure that I can sustain and be consistent, I may just host this podcast one day or maybe even 2 days out of the week, right? And if I'm off on the weekend, I could decide to do a full podcast show on a certain subject, or maybe that weekend I'll just replay a show, or maybe there's an audio book or something I play. But the point is, this is the rhythm of how I'm building something while I'm at work. Your fake friend does not know how to do that. Your fake friend does not know how to do that. When they come home from work, they're tired. They're tired. They're exhausted. They don't know how to do that. They don't have the true drive and consistency that they show. You know, when they have drive and consistency, when they're in competition with you. Well, how surprising is that? It's not. That's the only time they have all that. Is when they are in competition with you. 1 second. All right. The fake friend. And see, this is why I stress. Goddamn, let me get my words together. This is why I stress to you. Okay, the most biggest stress that, if anything, that I keep saying to you that you get out of me from this, all right, is that you have to get you together. You have to step yourself up. That's what the lesson is in all of this. I'm spiritual. I'm going to bring that spiritual shit to this. You have to step you up. If you get anything from me, there's one thing I do know about the universe. We are supposed to change and transform into something greater. It don't matter if you got a same aesthetic style, whatever, whatever. You know, you like your hair a certain way, whatever, whatever. That's just the signature of who you are. But we are supposed to grow. Do you know every person that I mentioned at the table with me? Each one of them, I've seen them grow. Don't even know them personally, but I've seen them grow. I watched Shonda grow. She lost weight. I can see that she smiles more. Shonda did not smile. Lena Waithe is actually smiling more. And she's glowing and she looks much happier than she did in this new marriage that she has. I can't pronounce it with Enrivo. And then Samira, I haven't seen nothing with her in a while. She's been doing big things with her acting. So I need you to all understand that, and please all understand this, that this fake friend, they don't have the capacity to do it. Keyword, they don't. This bitch don't have the capacity to do it. She don't have it. She's trying to be what you are. But I need you. 1 second, y'all. I gotta get me some food in my belly before I eat. Before I gotta eat. I gotta eat food in my belly before I eat. That don't make no sense. 1 second. Okay. What are you here to learn from this fake friend? All right. What are you here to learn? You are here to learn about yourself and your self worth. This is what they're teaching you. What's being triggered? That's 23 right there. I'm going to tell you what's being triggered. Growth. What are they triggering in you? What in them is triggering you? Most of the time, it's the comparison. It's the comparison. It's the fucking competition that you can see. Most of the time, it's the shit that they be saying. Right? The shit that they be saying. And I want to tell you something, right? Because I had a situation with a coworker, right? And she falls into the fake friend category, but I don't see her as a friend. But she still falls into the title of what a fake friend is, especially just in this coworker world. And she has said something, and when I tell you that shit, oh man, I could have. It was so shady, and I caught it. And I'm gonna tell you what it was that the trigger was. You motherfuckers ain't worthy of me. That's what it was. That was the exact trigger that I felt. Y'all ain't worthy of me. Why am I sitting around with y'all? I started looking at other coworkers, the ones that they don't like the most. Those are the coworkers that I should be around. I'm like, this one got on her makeup and her lipstick, and this one right here got her hair done and she got her pants a certain way. That's my type of crew. And those are the ones they don't like. Y'all not worthy of me. I don't belong over here talking to y'all. So how did I end up over here talking to y'all? The fake friend is very good at pulling you in a circle that is not you. Pulling you in a circle that is not you. That best friend from high school, when I tell you I hate every single person that her sister hang out with, I hate every single person that her sister hang out with. Now I'm sitting down, so we're gonna go back to 22. How fucked up is their life, right? What's being triggered? Pulling you into a circle that's not you. All tied in together. Again, I am freestyling, okay? How fucked up is their life? What's being triggered about their life that's so fucked up, right? Growth all the time. Pulling you in a circle that's not you, right? All of that is part of the trigger. People go through things. People go through tragedy. I'm going through a tragedy right now in my life. Okay, I'm really like literally going through a tragedy in my life right now. Tragedy changes us. We don't be the same after tragedy. And I could feel in my heart that I'm changing from this tragedy, right? And so not only is this tragedy changing me, this is kind of what this is kind of what the story of your life is with this fake friend. You know, you're kind of in like act two, the end of act two. You know what I'm saying? In your life with them, you're stuck there at the end of act two. How fucked up is their life? What's being triggered by how fucked up their life is? And pulling you into a circle that's not you. I remember her sister used to just be around the most fucked up people, and she used to be around them, and she used to talk about how fucked up they were. They was all fucked up. I remember the conversation that they would talk about. I hate, when I'm with a guy, I have to pay all the bills, and I have to pay all that. I said, I ain't never have to pay a bill being with a dude. And they all got quiet. They didn't even understand what the fuck life was like that. You cannot sit around. You have to be around people who are so elevated that they are teaching you something while you're sitting down at that table. If I sitting down with Shonda Rhimes in masterclass, I learned something. When I sit down and I listen to Lena Waithe talk, I learned something. When I sit down and listen to Samara Wiley talk, I learned something. We all learn something, but I learned something different that I can apply to myself. Okay? I learned something different that I can apply to myself. Now, Lena Waithe, Samira, all of them, they give me something different that I can apply. Samira's more, I learned something more about her and who she is, but when it comes to Lena and Shonda, I learned something different that I can apply. But the point is, there's application to this, and it's something that moves me. It moves me to get up and move life at a higher level, and also makes me step myself up. When you're around this, if you're not careful, you might entertain it. You might giggle. You might find the shit funny. You might shake your head. You might even go into a place of delusion and fucking detachment if you're really not careful. Because you've been pulled into a circle that's not you, and you know it's not you. Because you're being triggered. You're like, I don't like this bitch. I don't like the way she looking at me. I don't like, what is this shit? What am I doing with my, I don't want nobody to see me here. This is, oh, nobody need to see me here with these. That's with reason. This is them telling you what the fuck their life is. This is them telling you the caliber of people they hang around with. I remember one of them showed me a picture of the people that she associated with and the pictures that they took, and they just look retarded, stupid. They just look like they needed parental guidance. Okay, they never had no parental guidance. They look like one of them type of kids, the kids where one mom was a drunk, one mom was an alcoholic. Like that's the vibe that I got all day. Okay, sometimes you have to be careful because you got to make sure you're not tapping into something familiar in your life, and like that was the life of my hometown that I'm in right now. You know what I'm saying? So you have to make sure you're not doing that. But these are the things that they showed. And if you know for sure, you would look at this picture, you see these people, you would never hang out with them. That tells you something. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, you have to be and lean into you. Okay, it's never too late. You have to be and lean into you. When someone shows you what the hell just happened, oh, that's why. When someone shows you exactly who and what they are, you take your ass, you detach, you move on. You distance yourself, moving on. You make yourself look busy even if you ain't that busy. Put the phone to your ear even if nobody's on the phone. Or put the phone in your ear and put somebody on the phone with you and make yourself busy. Whatever you got to do to distance yourself, you do it. Because you don't owe nobody no explanation. If you see some shit that you don't like that's fucked up and you bounce, that's it. And you block them, that's it. You got your standards, and this person's behavior is obviously not the standards of what you say it is. I gotta get my plate of food. 1 second. Oh, why that smell a little burnt? Watch out. Bella, please. Oh, don't follow me. Don't you dare. I be forgetting I can't eat fish in front of my cat like that. But I guess she don't like. This is a white fish, but it's not whiting, and it's really good. I feel like I ruined it by putting hot sauce on it. That's what I shouldn't have put that hot sauce on it. And it's very easy to cook too. Bye, Bella. Damn, I put hot sauce on it. You can't eat this hot sauce. Let me see. Bye, Bella. Bye. Don't even do it. Okay. So, where was we at? You got pulled into a circle that's not you. You got pulled into catching on to the attitudes and behaviors of them, and now you're not as likable as you used to be. You don't even realize that someone has taken you away from all your beauty. Somebody's stealing your beauty. Let me tell you something. I saw pictures of myself that I took years ago. And I looked at them motherfucking pictures and I was like, bitch, I look ugly. It's so crazy because somebody wrote that into my comments and said ugly. I was like, you don't believe that, right? But I look ugly. I did. And I went back to my other pictures that I accidentally went back to those pictures. And I was like, damn, I look great. I'm glowy. You know what I'm saying? I'm working out, I'm looking gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? All of these things. I'm trying to tell you. You got to be more careful. Hold on to your motherfucking standard. Everybody can't be your friend. You make that clear to people that everybody can't be your friend. You set your boundaries at the door with people. Okay? You set your boundaries at the door with people. Let me tell you something. I can't make this shit up if I tried. I can play stories right now for you by women who have experienced this. You can catch the last show. But I wanted to show something. Bella, go away. And you're not going to be going to eat it if I give it to you because you've done that to me before. I've given her fish and she has not even touched it. Bye bye, Bella. This fish is so delicious. I've never had this fish before. It's so delicious. It's cheap too. Wait, let me see. I don't got time for that. What was this? Oh yeah, Charlie Kirk. Ooh. Oh boy, that Charlie Kirk thing. I didn't know it was going to get this far where people was going to just take. I didn't see that coming. So how do you walk away? Okay, how do you break away from this thing that you have with this friend? The way that you walk away from this thing with the fake friend is you have to start looking at yourself again. You have to look at where was I vulnerable? Where was I too trusting? Why did I allow the betrayal? You have to go into your own psychology. Okay? You got to go into your own psychology to understand why this happened to you. You have to go into your own psychology to understand where did I go wrong in this? Like, because you're going to ask yourself these questions because you may be angry. Some of you, you may even want to kill the person. I'm going to be honest with you, you're going to want to unalive them. You're gonna want to unalive them. And it's okay that you feel that way. Let me make a disclaimer. I'm not telling you to go do it. I'm helping you understand and navigate through these feelings as someone who has experienced this. Those feelings are natural. Allow yourself to feel like you want to do that you want to hurt them, that you want to scream. Okay? Just acknowledge those feelings. It is okay. What I want you to take a step back and understand something much bigger. Because when you understand uh, things much bigger than yourself, you will understand that you will understand that um hold on. Okay, let me right. Okay, here we go. Excuse me, I got distracted. So this is what I want you to understand. Listen to me closely. You are supposed to grow and have transformations in life. That's the one thing. That's the one thing I want you to know. That right there can erase everything that you are supposed to grow and transform in your life. What you were experiencing, what you are looking at, is someone who did nothing, who did the opposite of that. And if they had a chance to change and grow and transform, they couldn't do it. They couldn't even go for a walk around the block. They couldn't even understand how to make time for themselves. They couldn't even understand how to say no. They couldn't understand it. Their life is a whirlwind and cesspool of shit. Do you understand this? Their life is a whirlwind, a cesspool of shit. Okay? I meant to take that away. Cesspool of shit. And because their life is such a cesspool of shit, they feel they can't get out of it. They live like this, kind of, they're cursed. And let me help you just get this. It's not for you to give a rat's ass. How about that part? It's not for you to give a rat's ass. Yeah, that part. Don't care. You have to let that go. It's not about them, it's about you. It's about you. That's what everything comes down to in life. You know, people say, well, it's not always about you. It is always about you. See, the person who's saying it's not always about you is because they're going through something and they want you to come out of you to understand them. But it is always about you because all you have is you. You are you. So, therefore, you're not supposed to care. You are supposed to look at the bigger picture of what the universe is saying. We are supposed to grow. We are supposed to transform. We are supposed to do the inner work, discipline, consistency. For those who are ready for it, you have to be ready or prepare yourself to be ready. We are supposed to glow up and grow up. That's what you got to understand. I've seen this on different spectrums. It's not just females, okay, as y'all like to say, it's the males too. I've seen this trauma, all of this stuff can keep people stuck. And there are some people where they become very stuck at a very, very young part of their lives. I need you to hear me out. They get very, very stuck at a very, very young part of their lives. And they don't know how to pull out of it. 1 second, y'all. I need to take this medicine. Oh, shit. It is called, it is very cold. And so, therefore, this place that they're stuck in their life, right? They're choosing, because you have to understand that they're choosing, just like they chose to stalk you and do what they did to you. They're choosing not to pull out of this stuck place in their life. I thought I bought my charger out. Where did it go? God damn it. They're choosing to stay in this stuck part of their lives. These people, how do I tell you this? These people, or this fake friend that you had in your life, also was showing you how to lean into who you are, and showed you where you did not fully love yourself. I gotta check the bell box. Damn it. You have to realize where you did not properly love yourself. And then you have to learn also how to lean in to yourself, i.e., the lifestyle, the standard, knowing what you were worth. It was all about your self worth. It was all about our self worth. I just put us all in a bundle. For everybody had a fake friend story. It was all about our self worth. Somebody saw something that we didn't see. Somebody saw something so wonderful in us, something so great to us, in us, damn it, to a celebrity status that we did not see in ourselves. And we have to dig into that and get into the psychology and the self unfoldment of that. So much they presented themselves as a psychologist and therapist, just so they can understand how can you be in this world, be so beautiful, be so magnificent, and still not like yourself. That's really what it was all about. Just how could you be all these great things and you still don't like yourself? Let me just dig into just make you hate yourself because you're not as ugly as I am. Your life is not as ugly as mine. And then when they find out that it is, and then they see you still survive through that, that's what it's all about. It's a dark, dark game. But you get pulled into this dark game because of your own self-worth that you did not have. Once again in my life, I'm walking around with people at work because one of them is at the position and I'm learning how to do it. And now I'm going through this. When in the beginning, there's a certain aesthetic of people, complexion, and all of that I do not fuck with. And I saw that those are the main people in the position. But I said, hey, let me jump on the opportunity, all for it to still backfire the way that it did. And I just was like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't even want it. I'm not doing shit. I don't want it no more. You keep saying you want to do it. You stay saying I got the position. You keep saying you want to train me for it. I don't even want it. I'll just stick to where I'm at and I'll just get focused on what it is that I'm focused on. Because that's what I was supposed to do any goddamn way. That's what I was supposed to do. And if I'm asked to be help set up the line and shit, then I help. It is what it is. I'm working, right? It is what it is. But as far as the other shit, I ain't doing it. If it don't have to be done. So whatever position I am in, that's the position that I work in. See, that's what happened. Whatever other things I need to focus on for my self-care is what I'm going to focus on for my self-care. All right. So we are, what's today? Thursday. I got that mail Monday. We're going to go ahead. We after, wow. That's because I had to move around. But we're past 2 hours. All right. So I'll be back. Just let me go ahead. I got to handle some business. I'll be back.